Yo, what's up, everyone? Back for this Sunday slate. Yesterday, we crushed the early slate, especially on FanDuel. Talked about how much I love the twin stack in the video yesterday, and went with that on FanDuel. Put up a 208.2, crushed it, almost had a $500 profit. And then on DraftKings, put up a 124.4, which cashed in all the double ups, so I had some nice return on that as well. Only change I made was early in the morning. I tweeted out that I was going to take Homer Bailey out and play in that rookie from the Rays just because he was a much better cash play and he worked out great. So let's get into today's slate. We have an awesome slate. I always love Sunday slates. So you can drop a like and subscribe down below. Let's try to get 100 plus likes on the video. And you can hit the website, links in description if you want to join us for the slate. So starting off at pitcher, we have a couple of really top arms. And the main slate obviously is going on right now, so post results for that on Twitter in the morning. It's only 9:40 Eastern time. But for this early slate, we have a ton of good pitching options with Scherzer and Garrett Cole are the two headliners, followed by Giolito, who, against the Twins, I'm not going to be playing him. And then Shane Bieber is another guy I would consider. So we have three aces that I would play: Scherzer, Cole, and Bieber. Out of those three, I'm going to go with Max Scherzer. Mad Max has been pitching outstanding as of late. He hasn't gotten under 30 DraftKings points in the month of June. He's gotten at least 32 DraftKings points in every start. Ton of upside with him. He also goes like 110, he even throws 120 pitches in some starts. So against this Detroit team, which has one of the higher strikeout rates in the league against right-handed pitching, and their lineup is just really bad against righties, I'm expecting Scherzer to go out and have another dominating performance. So that's going to be the first guy that I love at 12-3. And the second pitcher I like is going to be Trevor Richards here, 7,300. Like the price tag on Richards a lot. He was over 9,000 just a couple starts ago against the Braves. It feels like it's a good spot against the Phillies. Their lineup, the Phillies just cannot beat this Marlins team. They've lost 5 straight against the Marlins. Their offense is scuffling as of late, and this ballpark is obviously not going to help them get back on track. Richards has one of the best changeups in the league, and I think he can have some success against some heavy strikeout hitters in the Phillies lineup. And playing at home, he's always been pretty good. So I like Richards here at 7,300. Seems like a pretty good value to pair with Scherzer because below him, we don't have a ton of options that I feel good about. Like, maybe you could play Jesse Chavez, but you don't know how many pitches he's going to throw, and now he's up to 6,900. And against the Rays offense, not going to be interested in him at that price tag. Don't like Gonzalez, don't like Brault, don't like Davies. Richard seems like the best play in that mid 7K group. So those are going to be the pitchers that I like. Let's start it off here at first base with Jesus Aguilar. Aguilar's only 3,300. We're going to need some value plays because if you're going to pay up at pitcher with Scherzer and even with your second pitcher like Richards, you're going to need some value to come through. And I'm expecting Jesus Aguilar to get the start here. He usually starts against lefties. Thames should hit the bench. And Brault has been getting killed against right-handed bats this entire season. Aguilar has not, last season he was amazing. This season he's been a shell of himself, but he's been a little better as of late, and he still has a lot of power. And Brault, with his numbers against righties, a 301 average, giving up a 458 slugging percentage in 183 at-bats this season. Batters faced. He only has a 14.8 strikeout rate against righties and a 6.2 xFIP. I definitely love all the righties here on the Brewers, and it's going to start with Aguilar, who I'm expecting he's going to have a better second half. He can't be much worse than his first half of the season. Coming off of his best season ever last year. He's still young. I expect him to get back on track sooner than later. And this year, he hasn't been great to any side, really, but against lefties, he has some more power. He has a 156 ISO against lefties this year. He has a 40% hard hit rate. And Brault's not, he has a very low strikeout rate against right-handed bats. So I'm expecting Aguilar to be able to do some damage. And, career-wise, he has over 200 ISO against lefties. So at 3,300, I like the price tag on him. Next up at third base, I like Suarez here, Eugenio Suarez at 3,900. He's just really cheap facing a lefty here. He hasn't been great as of late, but I'll still take his numbers against lefties over the production as of late. He also has some good numbers against John Lester in his career if you're a BVP guy. But 3,900 for Suarez is just a little too cheap on DraftKings, considering his numbers against lefties. 266 average this season. He has a 219 ISO, a 484 slugging percentage. Those numbers are good, but they're not as good as he's been, last season and for his career against lefties. Last year, he hit 320 against left-handed pitching with a 273 ISO and a 593 slugging percentage. And career-wise, much better against lefties. Batting average is almost 30 points higher. ISO is way higher at 220. Slugging is over 500. And Lester hasn't been great as of late. So I like Suarez here at 3,900. It's supposed to be nice and hot in Cincinnati. Both teams have high totals. I think the Reds can capitalize some of the righties here against Lester. In the outfield, I really like a couple pieces. I like Soler here as my first guy. He's at $4,000. Facing Aaron Sanchez, I'm expecting Sanchez to continue to struggle like he's been. He's been really bad as of late, especially against righties, and Soler has been mashing right-handed pitching this season. So Soler here at a really good price tag. He's been struggling a little bit as of late, but I think a matchup against Aaron Sanchez, given how bad he's been and given how many home runs he's given up as of late, makes a lot of sense here. This season, Sanchez has given up a 465 slugging percentage and a 299 average to righties. After he got off to an incredible April where he had a 2.32 ERA, he's gone downhill big time. A 5.28 ERA in May, and in June, he's getting hit all over the place. An 11.25 ERA, 349 average, and a 604 slugging percentage. Soler hits the ball really well against righties for power. And at this price tag, I'm expecting him to be able to do some damage here. So I like Soler quite a bit. This year he has a 239 batting average against righties. 17 of 21 home runs have come against righties, and he has a 288 ISO and a 527 slugging percentage. Strikes out less at 6% lower strikeout rate. About a 40% fly ball rate and a 43% hard hit rate. So I love Soler here. And last but not least, there was another guy right here in this 4,000 range that I am drawing a blank right now. Oh yeah, obviously it's Kyle Schwarber here at 4,200, facing Descalfini. Continues to be massively underpriced on DraftKings, leading off for the Cubs. They have a high total on the slate, as they should. Descalfini has been getting murdered against left-handed bats. Schwarber has been pretty good with power this season. I mean, really good with power. And facing Descalfini, who's gotten destroyed against left-handed hitters for his entire career, Schwarber is a little too cheap here. Disco Soup has given up a 320 average and a 608 slugging percentage to lefties. 49% fly ball rate, 50% hard hit rate, just an 8.5% soft contact rate. Absolutely love this spot for Kyle Schwarber. Can't really ask for a better spot here. We all know he murders. We all know he hits right-handed pitching really well for power. This year he's been better. He's been good against lefties and righties for power, I believe. But for his career, he's been much better against righties. So this season, the numbers are starting to shift. Like this last time I looked at these numbers, he was much better against lefties, but now his numbers are kind of evening out. He has a 244 ISO against right-handed pitching. And career-wise, just has a ton of power. I'm expecting him to destroy Descalfini here. He has a 264 career ISO against righties. Can't ask for a better spot and can't ask for a better matchup and a better price tag for Schwarber. So I love him here at 4,200. So those are 6 players I like for this Sunday slate. And I'm just going to talk about some stacks that I like. So we'll look here. I like the Royal stack quite a bit. Facing Sanchez, I like Soler a lot. I like Merrifield's expensive, but you're going to get him at low ownership for GPPs. This would be like a GPP stack in cash. I think you can go with some one-offs. But in GPPs, I would look at Merrifield. I would look at Soler. I would look at Hunter Dozier, given his incredible numbers against righties. And I like Colbert here at 3,800. And Maldonado, he's been smashing the ball. They might play him at DH today just because he's been so good. At the catcher, I'm not expecting him to catch a 1 o'clock Sunday game after he's been catching a lot. But if he's in the lineup, I like him at catcher. I think the Indians will be kind of popular against Yana or Yanoa or whatever his name is. I don't have a ton of interest in the Indians. Like I said yesterday, I kind of said I wasn't going to be playing any Indians on the slate, even though they had a high total against Cashner. Just because Cashner, if you looked at his numbers, they were really good against lefties, and all the Indians have is switch hitters and left-handed hitters for the most part. So here, you can look at like Bowers. Lindor is a little too expensive for me, and Kipnis is up to 47. Not getting any value on the Indians. I'll let some other people play their prices. I love this game stack, both sides. I love the lefties from the Cubs, so Rizzo a bunch, Schwarber the top 2 plays, even Hayward at 46. On the Reds, I look at some like a guy like Puig. I love Suarez. I like Iglesias as a cheap shortstop. Here, the Nationals, I think they're going to continue to get some love against Jordan Zimmerman. Just like the Indians, their prices are, we're not getting a great value on any hitter here. I think Matt Adams will be in the lineup today, but if Zimmerman's in there, I like him at first base. Rendon, Turner, they're just really good. Rendon, Turner, Soto, they're just really good. You can stack them up pretty much every day. But we're not getting a ton of value on the Nationals, so they're not going to be one of my favorite stacks. Not going to be playing any hitters from this game. The Twins, as much as I love stacking up the Twins, I'm going to refrain from that against Giolito. And the White Sox, they get to face looks like he's making his debut here. So a lefty facing these White Sox. And he wasn't great in AAA as well. He had a 5.71 ERA. He was pretty good with the strikeouts, though, 88 and 69 innings. So look at some cheapies on the White Sox. I like Jimenez quite a bit at 3,900. Jimenez and Abreu stick out, and James McCann given his numbers against lefties, but he's way priced up at 46. So just like a two-man stack, I think, and even Makata if you want to stack him, even though he's much better against righties, I wouldn't mind throwing him in a stack. Here, like I said, I love all the righties from the Brewers. So guys like Aguilar a lot. Should get Hira here at 4,100. RC at 38. Braun and Kane. On the Pirates, they get to face Zach Davies. I look at some lefties, and if anybody's really cheap, I'll play them. Like, nobody's really cheap on the Pirates, but I still like Dickerson. Colin Moran. They're a little priced up. They're a little too priced up. I mean, you're $50, $100 for Newman. I'm passing on the Pirates today, not getting enough value on the prices. And last but not least, the Astros. Just look at them as hitters. Quite a bit of interest facing a lefty. We all know Springer mashes lefties. Bregman mashes lefties. Altuve mashes lefties. Gurriel is pretty good. He's cheap too at 3,900. I love a Astro stack. They're going to be one of my favorite teams to stack on the slate. But that should do it for the video. Those are the picks that I like. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and